everybody, and welcome to my video today. I'm so glad you're here. If you have not seen my video from yesterday, make sure you go back and you see that video, because that is where we kicked off this quick and cute card class that I have put together for you. And I am here to make the second card with you. So yesterday we made this card right here, and it was so much fun to make. And today we're going to be making this card right here, so we will be doing that one next. And if you missed the details for this quick and cute card class, the way that you can get this card class is to simply place a $50 order with me using the special host code. I'll put it right up here on the screen. You use that host code. This host code is only going to be open for 5 days. So when the host code closes, that is how I will know how many card kits to create, and that is how I will know who to send card kits to. So this code will be open for 5 days. You place a $50 order, that is before shipping and tax. When you hit $50 right now currently with Stampin' Up, because it is celebrations, you can get a free item. You will pick this as your free item. This is the Adorable Owls stamp set. You'll need this to do all of your stamping. And you will get the stamp set. You can pick out whatever product you want from Stampin' Up to equal $50. You just need to have this stamp set if you don't already have it. Or you could always substitute another image out if you wanted. But if you want these cards exact, you'll need that stamp set. So once you place your order, then what I am going to do is put together all 5 of these cards in a card kit for you. You will get the card bases. You will get all of your designer paper cut for you. And then you will get all of the die cuts, this beautiful sequence that I'm using, which isn't from Stampin' Up. It is from Little Things from Lucy's Cards. So you'll get the sequence, you will get little googly eyes for each of your cards. Any of the die cuts, like the letters or the shapes, you will get all of that, and you will get envelopes. And then you will also get a PDF that will have all of the measurements, because I'm not sharing the measurements in these videos. I'm just sharing how to create the cards. So once you have your order, then you can make these cards once you get your card kit, and I will send all of that out next week. So once the host code closes, I will see how many people need card kits. All the card kits will be cut on Monday. They will be shipped out on Tuesday. So by the time you get your order and you will have your card kit, you can make your cards. So let's dive in and make this card today. This one is fun and a little bit different for me. We're going to start with our card base and get that folded. Recently, I've just been loving doing card bases with colored cardstock. I go through phases where I use just white cardstock and then I'll use colored cardstock. I've been loving using colored cardstock recently. So we're going to be using this design. This pattern paper is from Sale-A-Brations as well. When you place a $100 order, you can get a very large paper pack. It has 48 sheets of paper for each of each design. And with that, it's 12 by 12. So I know that's a lot of paper for some people, and some people don't want that much paper. And so this is a great way to have some of that paper and try it out without having to have so much. So the next thing we're going to do is something that I've not really ever done with cards before, but we're doing it with this one. I'm doing something a little different. So I'm going to turn mine this way so that I have my grid mat here to help me. And what I want to do is I want to fold this down, and I'm going to go to about this line here. So it's this line here and about that line there. It's going to give me a really even corner. Now this part, you have to make sure that you score your corner really well, because you're going to glue this down. And then you're going to have that corner. So my husband is texting me about the weather. Like, it's raining really hard here. And he's like giving me weather updates, which I have no idea why. So that's my phone going off, and my phone, I don't want to stop to check the texts. Okay, so I added a lot of that adhesive to that corner, and then I'm going to use my bone down folder, and I'm really gonna press that down. That's a pretty thick corner right there with both of those layers, and that's also why I didn't pop up this piece. Okay, so now we have our card all ready to go. So the next thing I'm going to add is on the inside. I want a little bit of a pattern because we have that corner that's peeking out. So I'm just going to use the other side of this and put it on the inside. You can also add a white square up top here for your message, or a black pen will write fine inside of this. So you should be totally fine. Okay, so then next we're gonna coordinate this pattern that's on the inside. I wanna coordinate that on the outside of the card. And for that, I'm gonna have to recut this because I didn't cut it properly. I didn't have it prepped properly. So I'm gonna cut this. And I just want it the whole length of the card. That's all, I just need a little bit extra from that strip. Okay, so then we're going to add this piece right up top, and then we're gonna do our stamping and our coloring, and we're gonna color another little owl. I'm gonna use my grid mat again, like in the middle between our little flap and the top of the card. So next I have this piece here, which is the So Sweetly Stitched die. I believe it's retired now. And the first thing I'm gonna do is we're going to take mint macaroon and we're gonna stamp the sentiment. So hopefully I will get this straight. I'm gonna try not to get my head in here, but my sentiment might end up being crooked. It's not, look at that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So we're still gonna need our mint macaroon ink pad, so we're gonna leave that open. But what we can do is go ahead and attach this piece. And so I'm gonna do that with a little bit of foam. I have a roll of foam around here somewhere. And we will attach this piece. And this piece, I want to pop it up since I didn't pop any of the other part up right in the middle. Okay, now we're going to grab a piece of just white cardstock like we did before, and we're gonna stamp our little guy. Now, I'm gonna color the owls. Mostly, I'm gonna color them the same. I would say that all the owls are pretty much colored the same. Once you see me color one, you're pretty much gonna get the idea of how I'm coloring it. With the same blends that I used yesterday. And this, we're not gonna have to be as careful on the edges because we're actually gonna fussy cut this little guy out. I almost called him a little dude, which I guess he could be a little dude. You could also mix and match your sentiments if you wanted, like to do a happy birthday, a specific happy birthday sentiment. You could do that as well. My soft suede blends are the tip of the brush end is really mangled, so I'm having to use the fine tip, and I don't really like the fine tip. I prefer the brush tip, partly just because I feel like I can be a little bit lighter handed with the brush tip. I feel like with the fine tip I really smash it into my cardstock, you know, while I'm coloring. And with blends, you really want to have a light hand. So I'm going to go up into that ink, lighten it up. Again, I don't really have to be super worried about the edges here because we're going to fussy cut this little guy out. I don't know, blends are so forgiving. It just makes coloring so much easier, in my opinion, than... and that's because they're alcohol based, and that's just the way they're designed. So you can color your little owls any way you want. If you don't like the colors I'm using, or you don't like blends or alcohol markers and you just want to use regular writer markers, you can do that, or you could use your ink pad. We're going to use our ink pad here in a minute to do some coloring, so you can do that as well. Like I said, I just find blends a lot easier to work with, and it makes my coloring, I feel like, a little bit better. Okay, so then we'll go in with our light crumb cake. And you can see, like with the belly, I don't even worry about like getting in the lines, or I just saturate all of the spaces, and that's just gonna give me a nice, like nice shading. So when you go into your darker color, you're just gonna wanna get a little bit more ink in there, so it will soften those lines and give you the shading that you want. And the more you go over, even with the lighter color, the more you go over your space with the color, the darker that color is going to get. And I know it'll look like a mess for a minute, but I promise you it's not. Okay, so now we're gonna bring our mint macaroon ink pad over here. You can see that. I'm gonna grab my Wink of Stella, and I'm just gonna dip it in my ink. And bring that color in. Just like that. We're going to wipe that off. I think I need a new Wink of Stella, or I think this is my other Wink of Stella that's dry. Yeah, that's better. Let's add a little bit more there, and then I'm gonna go over just the darker part of the owl and give it some shimmer. So you can see that I think both of these Wink of Stellas are dry. I know I have a wet one around here somewhere. That one has some black on it. Oh, this one's wet. There we go. Now we're getting some shimmer. I was wondering where all my shimmer went. Okay, and then for the other part of his hat, I'm just going to take my Pool Party writer marker, and we're gonna do Pool Party. Okay, and then now for this guy, we're gonna fussy cut him, which is why I wasn't too worried about the edges. And I'm just gonna cut around him real, just like pretty sloppy. And then we're gonna fussy cut this. And I'm leaving the tiniest white border you can possibly imagine. And I don't really mind fussy cutting. I mean, it's not my favorite thing in the world to do, but I feel like there are moments where it works fine. I just try to move my paper and not my scissors. Like, I try to keep my scissors in one position, and then I try to keep them open. Like my scissors, you can see, like I leave them open, and then I gently close them. So the motion you really want to avoid is this motion, like going along the paper. You really want to avoid that motion, because that's what's going to make your line really choppy. If you just open those scissors wide, close them slow, and move the paper, not the scissors, then you'll get a pretty decent cut. And you can see that didn't take us very long. I don't even think there's any reason to edit any of this out because it really doesn't take that long. I mean, let's see, would I rather color or would I rather fussy cut? I would definitely rather fussy cut. I'm not a fan of coloring. And I have some dimensionals, which are best for the little owl because you can kind of get them in there in different spots. Better than the foam. And we'll peel all these pieces off the backing. And then we're gonna add our little dude here to our card. And the very last thing I'm gonna do is, you guessed it, more googly eyes. And I will do that with my glue dots. And then I'm even gonna add the sequins. The sequence pack is really cute. It matches all of this paper really well. So let's add that. And then this is these are like iridescent. So that looks really good. Oh, you couldn't even see I was off camera. I'm so sorry. There we are. So this looks so great. So far we have 2 cards. Let me grab the 2 we have made. So I would love for you to place your order, use that special host code, and get these card kits in the mail so you can create these cards that I am creating. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow with day 3 of the Quick and Cute card class.